Hey, buddies. Kevin coughed.
I did it on purpose. Yeah,
Welcome, buddies, to Wasting Our Time and Yours. It's Kevin. Kevin coughed.
It was me.
It's his fault.
That's live.
He
TV.
ruins everything. God.
I turned away and I was like,
Are you muted? Oh no, you might be muted. Oh no. Will. Hold on.
Will. We can't hear them.
Will was definitely muted. Oh no! You can hear Will now. Sorry, Will.
Will.
Devastating.
It's the first episode, okay? It's the first episode.
There's gonna be some people on the stream you can't hear. Okay, just chill out.
Yeah, Will. This isn't supposed to be a professional production or anything.
Although I think golf clap for Blaine because it is.
Oh, don't do that.
Very professional.
God dang it!
Also,
you weren't supposed to do that.
Also,
yeah.
You thought that was a video at the beginning. Can we tell them? Can we tell them it was not a video? It's not a video of downtown Beaumont.
Oh my God.
It is actually a render from Google Earth that Blaine completely. He found like trees that look like moving trees. He found some green screen video of birds. He even added the pollution of the carcinogenic coast
export. Destruction of the planet.
He did. It's not in a normal picture. You can't see the pollution in a normal picture. You can here on Wasting Our Time and Yours.
Oh my God. It's incredible. That's so exciting. This is crazy. I don't know. It made me like being able to see everybody's chats. By the way, we're like just sitting here reading all of your chats while the pre-roll is going. Being able to read all of your chats while the pre-roll is going made me kind of nervous. Made me kind of like
Blaine's getting a little.
I don't know. Like you would think like I do, this all the time, and I wouldn't be nervous about it, but it kind of made me nervous. That was funny.
Also, I leading up to this, I was very, very critical of the music that we just played.
He has been.
I have
basically
because I'm like, that's not like.
I hate that.
I didn't basically say I did several times. I said, but like being here, like about to do it, and it started like.
Yeah, it's hype.
It is.
That's what I said.
Who chose the music?
Who chose the music? Yeah. Let's go.
Unlike Blaine, I love recognition for what I do.
Yeah.
Unlike Blaine, I crave that validation.
All of those songs.
Yeah. I found it. I didn't make it or produce it.
There's a really great.
I don't think anybody thought that, but yeah.
There's a really great artist online named Cryptic Unknown, which Manuel will know because...
Why does Will have a hater in the chat?
What?
Why does Will have a hater in the chat?
Oh, haters in the chat? Will, already? That's unfortunate.
I bring a lot of heat wherever I go.
Game recognized game.
Cryptic Unknown makes really incredible music. You should check them out on YouTube. And they made this really incredible song that I wanted. I wanted that song. But it's got like copyright and it's like licensed and stuff like that, and I wasn't gonna do that. So, but also I was looking for like that vibe, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it like anywhere. And Will was the one who like was able to find it.
Again, I was very against, but I was wrong. It takes a big man to admit when he was wrong, and I am that big man. First office quote. We should do an office quote like tally.
That would be good.
So also, you should have moderators keep track of those things.
One office quotation.
Yeah, go ahead, mods. Keep track of all the office quotations, please.
Which quote is also a perfectly feasible term to use for that. You don't have to just use quotation, but
what?
It's a quote.
Quote
or quotation.
Or quotation. Yeah, whichever one floats your boat.
Yeah. Your boatation.
Yeah, this is gonna be what's so annoying about this is like 90% of this podcast. It's probably not 90, but it is probably a full 10% is gonna be just us laughing at each other, the most stupid, moronic, idiotic jokes.
Well, I mean, you have to wait till one of those happens to make that point. But yes, that's probably gonna.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Buddy. Donald Trump is going to be the next president.
What are you doing? We said we weren't. You gaslighter. I will walk off the first episode.
You start leaving now.
Hey, get out.
We weren't going to talk about it.
What are you doing?
And we don't have to bring it up.
What are you doing? Look what you turned the chat.
Yeah. Mega.
Okay, I have to go.
Oh, no, you don't have to.
What's that, mother? The hogs haven't been fed.
Okay, can you explain taxing unrealized gain?
We can. I just saw a TikTok of
never. No, Kevin, hit him. I'm actually.
I don't have the reach. If I take this mic off, I can stab him.
I'm not in the same room.
Yeah.
If you could notice, chat,
Yeah.
I'm not in the same room as Kevin and Blaine are, but because of the internet,
because of the smell.
it looks like we're in the same place.
Yeah, right. The wonders of modern technology.
Here, Kevin,
no, wrong way. Wrong way, Kevin.
No, wrong way.
There you go. Oh, that looked pretty good, actually. Oh my God.
What are you doing?
What's that song from Five?
To squeeze.
I don't know.
What's the song from Five? Somewhere out there. Yeah, you did that.
Pay for that.
Basically. And
which song from Five?
There are lots of different people who are going to be guests on the podcast as well in the future. So they'll be able to join on Discord just like Will is doing right now. And I would love, the plan is to get the podcast to a place where I can have Will here in person. But I only have the facility, like the technological capacity for 2 mics right now.
And then on that day, we'll have like a mime rope and we'll pull his.
Somebody clip that because we're going to do that. We need to remember. Somebody write that down.
Okay, I will. If it's all right to already go into one of the topics I was wanting to discuss.
Oh, sure.
Oh, wow. Will's keeping us on track. I thought that was
a big brain on Brad.
I came prepared. What can I say?
Pulp Fiction quote. Pulp Fiction quote number 1. Okay, go ahead.
Someone in the chat mentioned the SNL, how we're probably running around. Like, is that Robbie that mentioned how it's like the first SNL?
Yeah, I think so.
There's a movie on it.
Yep.
Haven't seen the movie. I do want to see the movie, but I will say SNL last night was bad.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Well, you're breaking up a little bit.
You are breaking up a little bit. But
you're good. We can still hear you. SNL last night was bad. SNL last night was bad. You shouldn't be breaking up. I don't know why that's happening.
Well,
it's live.
I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep going.
SNL last night.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live. We're doing it right now.
Like it or not.
And I'll make a point, and this can kind of be the topic of discussion because I was talking to Blake about it. She said, she said SNL is just bad now. SNL is no longer funny. It's millennial humor. It's like not great writers.
Hey, what's wrong with millennial humor? I mean, I think
so. Is SNL just bad now, or was last night just kind of a bad episode? Like
Blaine, Blaine goes first, and I'll go second.
SNL is bad.
I think we're going to say 2 different things.
SNL is bad. SNL is not just bad now. SNL has never been like. So there was a period of time, and it was a while ago, and even like some kind of more recent people have been funny, but SNL has never been all that funny, right?
Okay, so that's Blaine's take.
Very
hot take.
Who has ever sat down to watch SNL on the television?
I want my window to be on the other side of Will's. That take was so hot because, of course, SNL was funny. That's why SNL is a thing.
It was funny.
There's no reason SNL is still on other than it was wildly successful for many decades. So let's just...
It was funny for that,
I said
that
successful.
period of time.
People can have their opinion on whether SNL is funny or not.
Sure.
What I'm going to say is I like the Lorne Michaels quote of everybody thinks that whoever was on when they were in high school is the funniest.
Oh.
Which like I used to like, oh man, wasn't it great when like Chris Farley and David Spade and then Will Ferrell and Sherry O'Terry and Kristen Wiig. Those were all the people that were on when I was like in middle school and high school. And they were very funny, but I think it has been funny since then. I'm going to say it's funny now. It's still funny now. Somebody brought up the Nate Bargatze episodes that are really funny.
I don't know which one that is. Nate Bargatze.
But like the George Washington skits that are...
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
That's hilarious. So I think it's still funny. I think, like, after the last election, it was Dave Chappelle, and people said the same thing. Like, it just fell flat. I think that there used to be a time where it was more measured on what they would comment on and what they wouldn't comment on, and now it's like, okay, now it's such a decision to decide what to comment on. If it's something as big as the election, they kind of have to. But there's an election, like many of them, that are so like almost evenly divided. It's not going to make everybody happy. And I think probably Bill Burr was one of the worst people they could have had out right after. Right after. Not that I love Bill Burr. I think Bill Burr's hilarious, but
Bill Burr is hilarious.
His monologue
was not funny.
Bombed.
Yeah,
completely bombed. And he knew it. He kept. He's like, all right, let's go to something you like. Let's talk about something you like. And they didn't even like that.
But he went from a topic not about the election. People weren't laughing, so then he decided. So then he went back to the let's talk about the election.
But then he went off of it after that because they weren't. They just weren't laughing. But then there were some sketches that were just not that great either. So I think it does depend on the host and how much they do give the host a lot of leeway in what sketches they want to do. This doesn't have anything to do with SNL now, but it was hilarious. Bob Odenkirk, who is Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad, he's on Better Call Saul, was a writer on SNL, and he talks about the Steven Seagal episode from the 90s.
Steven Seagal,
look it up. Steven Seagal.
Jamie, pull it up.
Steven Seagal is pitching all.
Do we have one of those people?
We should.
I'm the Jamie, and we can pull stuff up
Jamie,
if you want to.
No, don't pull that up.
Okay.
I mean, you could have the clip of.
Let's watch a 59-minute epised.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody, take a break. Watch it.
Yeah.
But like, he's pitching all these sketches where for no reason he just beats somebody up, and then I beat him up, and they're like, "Why does that?" He's like, "No, I just throw him through this." And he gets
Steven Seagal is pitching,
but Steven Seagal as the host is pitching all of this, and so one of them they let him do. It's just him, and it says like the name of a major oil company on the back wall, and it's this boardroom, and he just goes in and starts like throwing people through the wall, and then at the end he looks at the camera and he points and says, "That's what happens when you pollute the planet." It's the worst thing ever.
That sounds incredible. That sounds awesome. The whole bit is it's
just him like
board executive.
You've seen him doing his like martial arts, right? It's just him like grabbing shirts and like throwing people on the ground that really want to be on the ground. It's like that's Steven Seagal's methodology of martial arts. It's like, oh, you want to be on the ground? I'll get you there faster. And then he just like pulls the shirt, and they're already like doing a forward roll onto the ground. And so he just does that to a whole room full of people. It's like, and that's the bit. Yeah, Bob Odenkirk's talking about. I was like, people are so confused because it's this room full of people. It's stuntmen. He hired a bunch of stuntmen. It's people who are not on SNL. And so they're like, what is this sketch going to be? I don't recognize, these are not any of the players that are used. And it's just stuntmen that Steven Seagal's throwing around through balsa wood props.
What the heck?
Yeah. And so I say that to say
SNL was funny at one point.
SNL was funny at one point, but I think it does depend host by host. So that might be some of what was happening. Some of the sketches seemed very much in Bill Burr's voice. And again, love him or hate him, that's what it was. And so I do think Bill Burr can be funny. I think one of the things Bill Burr tries to do, though, is say controversial things that not everybody's going to like. And a lot of times he's right about what he's saying. Yeah. And he calls out, he does call out inconsistencies of both spectrums, which I also like, because not a lot of people do that. Yeah. But yeah, I think it was probably falling flat for a lot of years after this election.
I mean, I think that was part of it, but part of it was also like, it just wasn't. It didn't strike me as any. I laughed a couple of times at it. I chortled.
But it wasn't. We watched some of them earlier.
It wasn't really solid Bill Burr. Like it wasn't.
No, it wasn't like a Bill Burr special.
Yeah, it was stuff like he hadn't worked on very much or something.
It seemed like it. Yes, I think he was probably nervous being the one that was going after the election.
Yeah. That's a high pressure job.
Yeah, because go back and look at the Dave Chappelle one. People didn't like that one either.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and that is true. Like you do have a very like MSNBC kind of crowd that's watching SNL nowadays, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Will? Give us the young person's perspective.
Yeah, child.
Well, and this was part of Blake's argument when I was talking to her about it. She doesn't find any of SNL funny. She's never.
That's what I'm saying.
I've never been able to show her a clip of SNL that she like really laughs at. Maybe here and there. So I think it's like just depends on the crowd. Like, but I also I don't know. I know people my age that do find it funny, but so I don't know if it's a generational thing or if it's feel like just like so when type of humor.
Maybe it's a type of humor, but when I was a kid, like Comedy Central showed stand-ups, showed old episodes of Whose Line Is It Anyway. This is before this is the British version before the Drew Carey version existed, and SNL, just SNL reruns, and it was from all times of SNL, and so I just ate that stuff up as a kid. So I think it's just, if you want to be like a student of trying to make people laugh, watching SNL is a good example of what works and what doesn't work. And some years, like, look at the 80s. Like, you don't remember, like, a lot of the cast members from the mid to the late 80s. Some of them you do. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was on SNL in that time period. Michael McKean. But, like, who is also on Better Call Saul.
Ooh. Haven't watched it.
But every time period, I think you could find good SNLs and bad SNLs. I think it's just like any other show.
Yeah.
And some...
You're
cutting out. No, something the SNL has done well is that their TikTok, their media team will clip.
They do get good clips.
They'll clip each sketch every night. They'll clip the funniest few minutes of it if it cuts out the first setup or the end of it. And that's something else that to get it on TikTok, all those clips will go so famous. So that's going to be people my age. Yeah. But it's like, if you go back and watch the sketch, okay, it was kind of awkward if you just watch the sketch.
Yeah,
when they take a clip of the funny parts, like they can make it seem a lot funnier than it really was.
Right, so I think that might be their business model now. So it doesn't matter if the sketch like actually bombs; they're getting all their interaction and engagement from social media. So I think they're probably trying to find how it works now, because it's not just, did everybody see the SNL sketch last night? No, nobody was probably watching it live. Like we do sometimes, but like it's not.
I have never sat down and watched an episode of SNL live.
I did that religiously in high school.
Yeah, growing up, that was our thing.
It's also a different SNL only hits after lobotomy.
That's Blaine's take. So
another thing is that I hate like ever since ever since like the Jimmy Fallon era, I feel like everybody thinks that it's funny to break. And it's not funny to break.
Well, that predates the Jimmy Fallon era. I think Jimmy Fallon just couldn't stop doing it. Yeah, popularized it, and it happened a lot. And then he did it on purpose. There's a time when he started doing it on purpose, and he never stopped doing it. And then they gave him a show, and now he does it on that show every night.
Yeah.
Or it's not even. Hey, Jay Fowles. Sorry, Jay Fowles.
It's not even that he's doing it necessarily on purpose. He just doesn't try to fight it back.
I think he does it on purpose.
Yeah, maybe.
I think there came a time when he was doing it on purpose,
and that's not funny. Like the whole reason that a break is funny is because these are people, especially like you go back to like the Carol Burnett show and you watch
Tim Conway.
Yeah, like people who are like trying
Harvey Korman.
Absolutely professionals who do not break.
Yeah, Tim Conway and Harvey Korman.
We have a question in the chat of what breaking is.
Breaking is when someone you're supposed to be straight faced in a sketch and something happens within the sketch and you, not as the character, as the person doing the sketch, starts laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you break character. It's
a comedy sketch. You're making a joke, but you're not supposed to laugh. Like you don't laugh at the joke. The audience laughs at the joke. Yeah.
Yeah, you sound like Lauren. Hey, you don't laugh at the joke. The audience laughs at the joke.
There's not as much breaking nowadays as there was like back in Jimmy Fallon era, or like even like
there isn't.
Fred Armisen and Barry, who plays Barry,
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader.
Oh God,
yes. By Bill Hader.
Really good.
He would break a lot, but his were really funny. But nowadays, people don't break as much. I feel like more so they're just pretty meta in a lot of their jokes, especially Michael Che during Weekend Update. It's something that I don't really like.
Oh yeah, Weekend Update is awful.
I really like.
I do like Weekend Update.
Colin Jost.
I like both of them.
Colin Jost.
I like Colin Jost and Michael Che.
After every other joke, he'll like address the audience if they don't laugh or if they do laugh. Like,
but that's kind of what he does in his stand-up. That's like his shtick. Like
that's like a norm.
That is like a norm.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
R.I.P. in peace. But
R.I.P. in peace.
So Norm Macdonald is my favorite comedian of all time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's where the name of our podcast comes from.
Yeah, that's right.
It's from
it's
from a Norm.
That was on purpose.
We didn't plan that.
I did it on purpose.
We didn't plan that.
No, I planned it.
It's from a Norm Macdonald joke, which is I don't like fancy things.
Yep.
I don't like fancy schmancy things. I don't like fancy schmancy take a trip to Francie things.
Yep.
What I do like is wasting my time and yours. And that's the end of the joke. So Norman Donald didn't care if you laughed or not. It was just funny to him that you listened to what he was saying.
Yeah. That's his favorite kind of joke, is the one that, like, the joke is, I made you listen to this.
Yeah.
Like,
he did a roast of
moth joke.
The moth joke.
He had, like, the moth joke where, have you heard the story behind the moth joke?
I don't
Look up the moth. You're going to have homework after every podcast.
Yeah, homework.
Look up the moth joke. And the story behind that is that Norm Macdonald, they asked him to stay on for another 7-minute segment. And have you heard this?
Oh,
he was on Conan. He was on Conan.
Oh, he's like the second chair.
He's like, I don't have 7 more minutes. So I took this one joke and I made it 7 minutes, just like right there. He's a comic genius. Yes, Che and Jokes are great.
People aren't gonna know what the moth joke is.
No, we don't have to tell them.
We can't tell. Go look it up. Go look it up. Go look at the moth joke.
But
it's
anyway,
great.
it's from a Norm Macdonald joke is where we got it for our show. So
that's a really good one, Norman. But yeah, there are like SNL bits that I do find funny. Like I find a lot of SNL funny sometimes, but not like if I just watch it, that's not funny.
No, I like it.
Like the Adam Driver one is, oh my god!
I would be waiting.
That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, the Adam Driver.
Yeah,
we can't keep referencing.
Him and Ayo Edebiri.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Funniest SNL.
Ayo Edebiri.
So when I started watching that one, I saw some of that one live. I was like, who's this new cast member?
Yeah.
I hadn't watched The Bear yet, and so I just thought she was the funniest thing ever. Yeah. But yeah, I used to be waiting till Monday morning to talk to my friends about what was on Saturday Night Live. I remember that.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
Well, obviously, you used to be waiting to be like, "Hey, wasn't Saturday Night Live a bunch of garbage?"
Yeah, that was a really accurate impression of me in high school.
We can move on from SNL at this point.
Sure.
It's half the podcast.
Was that enough? I think we did it enough.
Sure, yeah.
You know what's sad?
Leave comments down below what you think of SNL.
Yeah.
You know what's sad and
good
very
engagement,
happy?
Will.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
Young guy.
We did it. You know what's sad and happy?
What's sad?
That new Star Wars Skeleton Crew show looks awful.
Ooh, let's talk about that. Did you watch the trailer, Will?
Have you seen the trailer for the new Star Wars?
Can we watch one of the trailers?
No. We can watch a trailer. A little quick trailer.
How are people gonna? No.
What?
What about when this ends up on Spotify or something? Are we gonna get copyright?
That's true. Well, we won't get copyright struck, but
sound.
But it would be weird for us to sit here and watch a trailer. How come Jamie can do it? Joe Rogan can do it. Why can't I? Joe Rogan watches trailers all the time.
Start modeling after Joe
people
Rogan.
are watching us right now. They're in the chat.
You're right.
Sound off if you exist.
Prison Mike is correct. Star Wars is like past its.
Well, it's so frustrating.
Dead phase.
It's not just that it's too much; it's that it's bad.
So I think it's both. I think it's over as market saturation. Right, we didn't have. I remember the dark times before the Empire. After the Empire. But when there was no Star Wars content whatsoever, like when I was a kid, the only things were the movies that ended out, and then like the Ewok movies that were on TV.
Yeah, that Ewok droids.
Caravan of Courage. Yeah. Caravan of Courage is what it's called. We should do like a live stream of just watching that.
You've watched them. Yeah, they're insane.
It's great. But anyway,
if you haven't watched Caravan of Courage,
no Star Wars content, and then prequels, then sequel trilogy,
and then Jar Jar Binks.
No, that's prequels. But yes, then sequel trilogy. Now all the TV shows that Disney's doing, which I like, some of them are good, some of them are bad. But oversaturation is one thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is they're not good stories.
Yeah, they're real bad.
I think one of the things that they do, and this is part of what Skeleton Crew trailer made me think of, there's an 80s song in the trailer.
I know.
There's like an 80s like Earth song.
Yes.
That is the trailer.
Weird.
What are we doing? It's like all of the executives in these studios are my age now. Is like, you know what people used to like?
You have to put a retro
all
80s
the movies
song
from the 80s. No, they think they like the movies from the 80s because there was kids because there was like some type of mystery going on, and because it's just a good story.
Yeah,
that's what they liked about movies from the 80s. Is that they
made them well.
Just make good movies. Like, oh well, yeah, they like this. Let's put a DeLorean in it. No, that's not why they liked movies. They liked them because they were better.
And every trailer has to have a remix to like version of an 80s song.
Which, okay, I'm not gonna lie,
it does get hyped sometimes. Absolutely. Sometimes it does.
But the trailer for the
Star Wars
movie, the trailer for the Dr. Dolittle movie,
Dr. Dolittle?
That Robert Downey Jr. was in that you don't remember, rightly so.
Oh, I forgot that came out.
The movie was.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, the movie was horrible, but the trailer is excellent. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, the Skeleton Crew looks terrible. And they put that weird 80s song in it. And whenever I was watching the trailer, I was like, oh, they're like trying to do like a Star Wars song. And it sounds like that song from the 80s. Just that song.
Straight up that song.
It was just that one.
But it's like these kids find a spaceship and then they go on this adventure.
It's like E.T. and Star Wars.
Yeah, it looks like it could be good, but it could be good because they're taking these elements of things again. Yeah. Hey, you like this, right? Yeah. Let's do that again. No, just make a...
But in a Star Wars...
I think about the last 5 movies that I liked, it was because the story, like, it viscerally affected me the same way that anything else affects me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because, it's like this other thing that I like.
Yeah. But you know what is going to be good? Andor season 2, man.
Andor. Because it's not like anything else that they've done.
Andor season 2 is coming out next year, and Severance season 2 is coming out next year.
Will, did you watch Severance?
Yeah.
Did Blake watch? Did you watch it, or did you just watch it?
No, I'll get Blake to watch it because
oh my god, crime!
But it was incredible.
Absolutely, best show on television right now.
And that was one of those shows that I felt most impact from with the writer's strike. Like, that's the one that would have probably been out for a while now,
right?
But that one I was so excited about to come back out.
Yes, Rogue One and
stupid writers had to go on strike.
No,
solidarity with all workers, man.
Not my take on that. Will's with the corporation.
How come our corporate billionaires have to suffer from those underpaid writers?
These content makers
only afford 12 yachts this year.
But you're taking money out of the pockets of the billionaires.
Yeah. The striking workers. Andor and Severance season 2 are going to be incredible. Andor season 2 comes out on April 22nd, and I need a time machine. I cannot wait that long.
Are we sponsored? Wait,
are we sponsored?
No, we're not going to become a Star Wars channel. One of the things that people complain about.
That's because I'm so excited about it right now.
On Everything Under the Sun is how often we talked about Star Wars. So this is
that is true. Well, this is our podcast now.
Blake has left by now. He's no longer listening. I was supposed to be the one to keep us grounded in what people want to listen to. And the moment y'all mentioned Star Wars,
okay, Lord of the Rings.
Me and Kevin, Lord of the Rings. With me and Kevin in the room every episode.
Oh, she's here.
She's here. She's made it through
look,
Star Wars.
what a supportive wife.
She loves you more than she loves hearing you talk about Star Wars.
She is suffering right now, I promise.
Will, are you a Star Wars guy?
Are you a Star Wars?
I am. I've never gotten into the Disney Channel movie shows.
You almost said Disney Channel originals.
I did.
You mean Clone Wars?
Like I didn't get into Mandalorian. I didn't get into
Mandalorian's great.
First season of Mandalorian's great. Oh my gosh!
Don't waste your time.
Yeah. So if the biggest Star Wars fans I know are having guttural reactions to this, then I think that's a sign I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Have you seen
Andor? I also take that tack with new TV shows. I usually don't watch new TV shows until they've proven in the stratosphere that they're. I
want to hear about
because I don't want to waste. There's too many things to watch.
I want to hear about it naturally before I start watching something. That's how like the Bears one that I really want to watch. And
the Bears great, but I didn't watch it till it was in the 3rd season.
You said
when you said
the Bears the best thing on television.
Bears the best thing on television right now.
I have to watch it now. I didn't think it was that good.
The Bear is the best thing on television. Okay, it might be my new favorite show.
Let's talk about the Bear. Everyone knows what Star Wars is.
I haven't seen it.
Not everyone will know what the Bear is.
Yeah, what's the Bear?
Go ahead, Will.
Oh,
what's the Bear?
It's
a large mammal in the northern United States.
Ursa something.
Ursa Americanus. Go ahead.
Americanus, you got it.
This is a show featuring I can't do this, Kevin. This is your job.
Or are you? I thought you can't explain. I thought you were doing a bit.
You can't describe something that you like.
That's why I didn't save you. That's why I didn't save you.
Oh, I love this thing. I can't describe it, but I love it.
So the bear.
There's a lot of
the creator of the Bear is from Chicago, so it's like this love letter to the city of Chicago, but it's also this. That's
why Bill Burr is in it.
Show. What? Bill Burr's not in it. Huh? It's a show about it's not a cooking show. It's where they teach you recipes.
Yeah,
no,
like
it's not
Rachel.
a cooking show. It's not. It's a show about this guy.
Taking on. Tyler's saying I haven't seen it.
What?
Okay,
I have seen it.
That's
it's literally never seen what.
Never seen it.
Okay.
He thinks because I can't explain it, I haven't seen it.
Oh, that's true. You can't prove that you've seen it.
Okay, do you want me to explain it or do you want to interact with the chat?
No, you got it. You do it.
Before this, he's like, let's not interact with
do you want to do this podcast?
With the chat?
Or do you want to talk to your friends, Will?
No, Will's seen it. Will's seen it. It's about somebody who goes from working at like a 4-star restaurant to taking over the family business but it's about more than that. It's about all these relationships that he has. It's about the relationship. You would love it, Blaine.
Weird-looking guy takes over his family's business
between greatness and the sacrifice that you make to achieve that greatness.
I do love that.
So there's a lot of that in it, but it's also like
it's a whiplash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And anything like Damien Chazelle, but
Hey, wait, what?
What?
What did you say?
Like La La Land.
It's not like David Chazelle.
I said anything.
Oh, it's like anything like.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I gotcha.
But it's also about like it takes these little zoom in moments of every person in the show eventually and shows their journey to where they got there, and it turns into it's a big picture story, but it turns into very intimate details, even in the cinematography,
about like passion and strife.
The way, just the aspect of the service industry, like everything I do is for someone else, and so that it's one of the greatest shows. And yes, Logan,
that sounds
the Christmas
great.
episode.
So
it's very chaotic. The whole show is very chaotic.
It's
very,
about a kitchen.
Very manic, high energy.
Yeah.
And they have this Christmas episode like at their house. It's not in the restaurant. And
so
at the beginning of it, I'm like, oh, great. A break from the restaurant. Manic. It is the most anxiety that I've ever had watching a TV show.
What?
And it's one of the best episodes of TV show. It's called Seven Fishes. It's the best episode.
Yeah.
That's the one that people were like, after the election, they were like, in order to distract myself, I need to watch Seven Fishes. I did see that.
I think she, Jamie Lee Curtis, didn't she win or she was at least nominated.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I don't know if she won, but she was for that episode only. She was nominated.
Whoa! I didn't know Jamie Lee Curtis.
She was in a couple episodes after.
Yeah,
but that's like she's like a big character in the episode.
Yeah, Cameron. Every
show.
Bob Odenkirk is in it too. That's right, Logan. Bob Odenkirk is in that episode.
All these people I didn't know that were in
John
it.
Mulaney's in it.
John Mulaney's in that one too.
And
Sarah Polley.
I'm watching this tonight. We're starting it tonight, right after this podcast.
Or Sarah Paulson.
Hearing it. What?
Paulson. Sarah Paulson. I said Sarah Polley, which is different.
I only knew about Weird Looking Guy, Iowa Debris, and Andor Dude. Those are the only ones that I knew that were in it. Yeah.
Andor Dude?
Andor Dude.
Richie from the show.
Is in Andor.
Oh, okay. He's in Andor also.
Yeah, he was. Go watch Andor if you haven't seen that either. That's one of the best things that's on television right now. But I haven't seen The Bear. Apparently, I got to go watch that.
And I think what's so cool about The Bear is I think it's also written for people who have worked in the food service industry.
Yes,
To watch it and to feel the nostalgia of it, but also can barely sit through it. As someone who's worked in a kitchen in a high intensity things are moving fast. It is so hard to watch because you feel like you're there and you get goosebumps and chills. Like, oh my gosh, the tickets are going faster than they have cooks to make the food. It's incredible.
Tyler said, "I love her from the Activia commercials." Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's her best role.
It is. Her best role is Everything Everywhere.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
She's so good in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
She's great, but that's not her best role.
What is other than that?
I mean, I think she's better in The Bear.
I haven't seen a lot of.
I also think she's better in Knives Out. She has.
She was really good in
Knives Out. I didn't understand why she won and Carrie Condon didn't.
That was insane.
Carrie Condon from The Banshees of Inisherin should have won when Jamie Lee Curtis won the Oscar. Anyway,
that was crazy. If you want to watch a relaxing, one of the most high anxiety inducing.
Are you talking about drugs right now?
I can't speak words.
One of the best highs I've ever gotten.
One of the episodes of television that makes me the most anxious. Vitamins.
Go ahead.
One of the episodes of television that makes me the most anxious is that freaking dinner party episode from The Office.
Yeah, it has that same kind of feel.
but without the funny.
Without the funny, no funny. Just drunk.
Take all the funny and make it more stressful.
Blake says Christmas with the Cranks is Jamie Lee Curtis's finest.
Hey. It may be.
I haven't seen it.
Whenever she's fighting over that honey ham, it is one of the greatest.
What? That sounds horrible. Yeah. Interesting. The Office. Well, almost what's better than The Office, though, so many times, is the bloopers. And one of the best bloopers ever is the one where Michael is like improv, like Steve Carell is improving, and he. And he pushes that TV into the wall, and he's like, "If I need more space, I can push it into the wall."
Jim, over here.
Yeah, over here, Jim. And he snaps.
and he gets him before he even
immediately breaks. Yeah,
and then he goes right against the wall because he can't even get through the line.
Oh my god, it's so good. Yeah,
we talked about a lot of media.
That's true. All television. That's gonna be.
We talked about some movies.
That's gonna be most episodes.
Christmas with the Cranks. Chill out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We back in the day we did Everything Under the Sun, and I missed that. This is nice.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah.
See, because we are always having conversations, and we'll say, "Why aren't we recording this?"
Yeah, is that like a healthy relation? Like we did that. I did that. Like I've talked to Blaine all day today,
right?
And so.
And so many times we can't talk about this right now.
Shut up! Talk about it on the podcast. And then we're just sitting there, it's like, well, what do we do? Yeah. Until I guess we could both just be on our phones. So we don't have to talk.
This is gonna ruin our relationship.
It is. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is really good. Shut up! Let me go get my recording equipment.
I'm excited for all the guests that we're gonna have.
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite parts about Everything Under the Sun was having different people in all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, talk about Everything Under the Sun, kind of why you wanted to start this podcast.
Yeah, explain to the folks at home.
Everyone's going to know what that is.
I wanted to start this podcast because every time we talk to each other, we say we have to be filming this. So that's the only reason. Yeah, but also, there's a podcast. But also, we did Everything Under the Sun back in the day. If you weren't aware, we all worked at a church together, and I mean, most people in the chat are aware. We all worked at a church together.
They keep redeeming hydrate.
They keep redeeming hydrate. I need to mute that. We're gonna mute that. We all used to work at a church together.
Nope, and I like that. Well, don't.
My main strategy for I don't know, marketing. It's not really marketing. It's content creation. I really felt like the way that you could use social media really interestingly and effectively in a church space was by creating content that made people feel more connected with like the pastors that they see on an average Sunday morning, or feel more connected with the other people who are in their ministry areas that they didn't usually interact with. And so we tried to make a lot of content, and part of that content was Everything Under the Sun back in the day, which was a podcast where we had no agenda and we just talked about whatever we wanted to. And which is what this is going to be.
And has been so far.
It has been so far. But part of what we did on Everything Under the Sun was every week we brought in a new person to like sit at the table and talk. And it was great. I loved that so much because there's so many people that like I didn't know super well, and this gave us the opportunity to know them better.
Yeah, and
because I can't talk to them in like in real life and like ask them questions about themselves.
I think that part of it's still possible. The reason I did is just because I like talking to you guys anyway. So why not
film it?
Do a podcast. But also, like, it's fun to talk. The reason that we want to talk about TV shows or movies or books or other podcasts that are important to us is because we want to share those things that we like with people that we like. And so this is one way for us to do that.
Like also. The bear. Go watch The Bear.
Like, go watch The Bear, because then we can talk about it more.
And Severance. And Andor.
And Severance and Andor.
Yeah.
And The Penguin. We didn't even talk about The Penguin.
I haven't watched any of The Penguin.
I thought The Penguin was just going to be some throwaway connection to a Batman
that too,
movie.
and then you said it was good.
It's excellent.
Oh, I have to watch it.
Hey, wait, Paul. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Y'all are still talking about The Penguin? Or...
Well, we just said 2 sentences about it, but go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go on about The Penguin.
We'll circle back. We'll circle back.
We need to engage with the chat. You're right. What did Paul say?
Well, he asked if I was going to be the Jamie who pulls up all the videos. No. Great cutaway, Will. And that's why he's not going to be the Jamie. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, now continue about The Penguin, fellas. That's the one thing out of that whole. There's like lines and lines of conversation, and you're like, "Oh wait, Paul asked a question about me. Let's
a yes or no question, and you answered with yes.
Oh wait. Hey, shut up, Blaine. Paul asked if I was going to be the Jamie. Paul, in answer to your question, no. Continue podcast, fellas.
I could have just texted him, I guess. But there is a piano next to me, and
Will play us some music. He can't. We're not yet.
Oh gosh.
Oh wait. What's happening? What are you doing? Oh Lord.
But eventually, I want to have it routed to the computer to where I can be like the
yes. You can play the sound. You can play the theme song.
We could do thank you notes.
What's a thank you note?
Like the Jimmy Fallon thank you notes that we used to do at camp.
That is a great idea.
What is a thank you note?
Okay,
I don't watch Jimmy Fallon.
Is a Jimmy Fallon bit segment he does, I think, on every Friday, where he'll just take pop culture moments and write a thank you letter to that in a funny way. But there's this iconic theme song that one of the Roots plays.
Yeah, the legendary Roots crew.
We did it at camp as well. You would remember it. Because when we did church camp together, that was a segment that we would do. Kevin did it first, and then when I started hosting, I would do it as well. And I just love it so much. It's great.
And you play the piano and like sing a song.
Someone plays the piano in the background.
No, there's no song. There's no singing.
You act like you're writing a thank you note. So you say thank you, and then the song's going, and then you say why you're thanking them. But it's not real thank you notes. It's just a way to like roast people.
Talking about
the way we did it. That's not how.
Talking about Will playing the theme song on his piano just makes me think Cheers. Cheers is like real piano heavy theme music.
Will say 3 things you know about Cheers. let's see if we're reaching
Ted
the
Danson,
young. Okay,
Woody Harrelson,
boom. And everybody knows your name.
M Bar. Okay, hey, you got it.
I know Woody Harrelson came after the first.
The only reason why you know that is because of the Conan O'Brien podcast.
That is correct. That's another influence for this podcast.
You've never watched Cheers?
Conan O'Brien.
That is true. The whole dynamic. No, so Conan O'Brien's podcast is fantastic. But just the bits where it's Conan and Sona and Matt Gorley.
Another crazy hot take. No,
I don't want to.
Some of the interviews are good.
Jeff Bridges. I don't want to hear.
Oh, the Jeff Bridges one is.
I don't want to hear from Billy Crystal. That was the one that.
No, I haven't listened to any of those. I have no desire.
Oh, Billy Crystal.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino was great too. Al Pacino is getting old.
The last interview I listened to was Jon Stewart. That they did.
That one was great too.
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty good one.
But the Billy Crystal one made me Google like 5 of the moments that they were talking about in that because they do this like tracking of Billy Crystal's career. Like it almost didn't happen. Like someone was out of town, and so like, hey, I need somebody to come do the Muhammad Ali introduce him for some award or something, and he does this impression of Muhammad Ali in front of Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali comes over to him, leans in his ear, and says, "You're my brother. You're my little brother now." And he called him that for the rest of his life. They were like best friends forever.
They became best friends after that.
It was incredible. He did his eulogy. Billy Crystal did Muhammad Ali's eulogy. Yeah, it's
incredible.
But it just made me think of how
I watched it.
A man did a joke about another person, about a famous person, and then he delivered his eulogy at the end of the life
after a long and storied friendship. But yes, you did.
50 years later.
Yeah, but you didn't die the next week. He was like, I want Billy Crystal. to do my eulogy. No, that's not.
I'm just saying that's the way that you described it. Was like he told a joke about him.
Blaine's like, wait, a man met someone, and then that's like asking them to be in your wedding or something. Hey,
yeah, that's exactly correct.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, goodness gracious. But yeah, Conan O'Brien, his podcast is incredible. I love that.
His podcast
so
is
much.
Well, and the great thing about Conan's podcast for me is like I also grew up watching Conan O'Brien religiously. He started in the mid '90s, and so like when I was in college, like everybody was talking about Conan O'Brien.
On the Internet Archive, you can go back and watch the full like first year of his.
Which is also crazy. They're doing stuff
and it's
that no one ever did. Yeah.
It's absolutely bonkers. Like the level of work that they put into it, like
well, they had
new original costumes.
Like Conan O'Brien was a writer on the Harvard Lampoon. He's like a super genius. He still like reads voraciously to this day. He reads like presidential biographies and histories, but like he got like super smart writers to be on his show. The same thing that they used to do on SNL and The Simpsons. Like he was one of the early writers on The Simpsons as well, and they had like him and a bunch of other Harvard people were the writers of The Simpsons, which is doesn't sound right, but if you go back and look at some of those jokes, early jokes on The Simpsons, like they're genius.
Simpsons, man, that's another show that I need to watch desperately.
Yeah,
I see so many clips from The Simpsons. I started like
the ones that I they're only in season 43.
It's only been 45 years, and
I really liked the first 6 seasons, but then they took a dip from season 6 through 12, but then they really shot back up seasons 12 through 28.
I download because Kevin doesn't have freaking TikTok. Kevin,
I will never.
I have to save them to my phone and then text them to him like an animal, and because I do that for the Simpsons ones, now it's like, oh, Kevin, you want to see all the Simpsons TikToks that exist, so I get Simpsons content a lot in my TikTok feed, and it's absolutely hysterical. It's so funny. But I suspect
Tyler just made an Everything Under the Sun reference with the Flimpsons.
The Flimpsons! Yo! I forgot about the Flimpsons. That was so good. Everything Under the Sun was so fun. I loved that so much.
That's why we're doing this.
That's why we're doing this, and that's why we're going to have guests on not next week, but the next, probably.
Yeah. So we'll do two like this.
And I think...
Yeah, go ahead, Will.
I think eventually it would be great, like, if we had, like, segments. Like
I agree.
Sure.
Like I think we have like this opportunity to develop in a lot of ways, and one of the segments I think would be really fun, and we could try it today.
Okay. This is the first me and Blaine are hearing about this.
Will says, first of all, the podcast should have segments. Second of all, I have the idea for the segment right now.
Segment.
Yeah. I did not pass this to by the board of this podcast or any.
You're supposed to get it
proper signature.
You're supposed to get it signed in triplicate by the executive committee, and you did it.
Nice use of triplicate.
Well,
let the man speak.
I think I should come.
You can't stop right there.
Oh my god! What is wrong with you? You're a child. You're a child.
You didn't let me finish.
No, wait, no. You did not finish.
Wait, stop saying finish. Just let.
You didn't let me finish my sentence.
Yes, just keep going. Like, don't put any pauses.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
I'm gonna come onto the podcast.
Okay.
With a
call you Nathan or
pass it
to the background. Yeah,
with
sorry.
a current event or topic to see how much y'all care, or like what y'all know of it, or if y'all heard of it. And this is stuff I like learned through TikTok or something. But there's this one thing. I think it's probably the biggest thing on TikTok right now, other than the election, is the Zach Bryan, and I think his girlfriend's name was Brittany. But Zach Bryan, who's this big
country singer,
country artist, he's really big and popular.
Isn't his girlfriend her name is something insane?
Yeah, like, it's like Chickenfry.
Chickenfry is her last name.
So is the question whether or not we care about this or not? Because I have my answer.
No, I haven't gotten
not let you finish. I have my answer, but continue.
No, I haven't gotten to the end of it. So Brittany Chickenfry is one of the hosts on Dave Portnoy's podcast.
Who are these people?
Dave Portnoy is the Barstool Sports guy. Go ahead.
Oh, I know Barstool.
He does
pizza
Chickenfry.
reviews.
I'm sorry, Logan.
Brianna
I said Brittany Chickenfry.
Oh, sorry, we got Ms. Chickenfry's first name wrong.
But it was really big that they were dating, Zach Bryan and Brianna Chickenfry.
And the Barstool Sports podcast co-host, right?
Yes.
I have that correct.
They were dating, but then they broke up, and now she's coming out with stories about him being like super abusive.
About Zach Bryan or Dave Portnoy?
No, Zach Bryan.
Okay.
Like they're talking on the podcast, which
on Dave Portnoy.
Sad day.
Yeah, Dave Portnoy's podcast. But Zach Bryan is like a huge artist, but she's saying that he was beating her, and there's this one story of him being over on her birthday, and it's her birthday, and then he starts like verbally and even physically abusing her and her friends, and she just decides she's gonna go to bed to like to where he will go hopefully calm down and to escape it, and like she's woken up by all of her friends screaming and crying. It's crazy. And but she's talking about this, and Zach Bryan, or I don't know Zach Bryan, but she said Zach Bryan
fun story, Cameron
wanted her to
thanks for really pulling us
you're lighting up the podcast.
Go ahead, Will. Finish your abuse story.
This is hot topics. This is what people want to hear.
Yes,
this
okay,
is what
go
the
ahead.
podcast
Zach Bryan is big though. I mean, I know Zach Bryan.
Big. And she said he wanted her to sign an NDA for
non-disclosure agreement.
$32 million, or maybe $12 million. It was like either 12 or 32 million. I know there's a 2 in there. $1 million for her to not talk about the relationship, but she did not sign it.
Can you do an NDA for a relationship like that?
You can do an NDA.
I thought NDAs are like business.
No, you can do an NDA for anything.
Oh,
yeah.
That sounds
as long as you sign it. But
that's the segment of.
So what's the segment?
Do we care or not?
Now y'all. Do y'all care? What do y'all think?
Do we care that this woman was abused? Yes, of course. When you started off the story about who was dating who and Dave Portnoy, of course I was not going to care about it. But that you end by, oh yes, she was being horribly abused.
Horrifically
and her friends also. Yes, Will, we care about this woman getting justice. Was that your question? Do we care about her being abused?
Oh my God! Yeah, that sounds crazy.
I just want y'all to maybe this segment should be y'all rated on a scale of 1 to 10.
No, that's worse. That's the segment. Pick a different story, man. We're not gonna rate. We're not gonna rate on 1 to 10 the story of horrific abuse.
Okay, the name of the segment is
I don't know what the name of the segment is. Tone deaf, but
oh my God!
I think the segment should just be me filling y'all in on
okay.
the biggest
something that we probably didn't know about. Which did we not know? I didn't know about that. Did you know about that?
No, I didn't know about that.
Is that the biggest story of the week on TikTok?
I do know Zach Bryan.
Well, other than election, people are talking about the election, of course.
Well, I mean, but like current news, you think that's the biggest thing going on TikTok right now? I'm actually asking.
I watch TikTok probably 7 hours a day, and I have not seen that.
Okay, well,
maybe
you're on TikTok too much.
Yeah, that's what I got out of that statement. It wasn't like, oh yeah, Will might be wrong about this. It was like, you're on TikTok 7 hours?
Okay,
did you? Do you have a job?
It was a joke. I am on TikTok way too much though, and I haven't seen it. I do know about Zach Bryan, and I do know enough about her to know that her name is insane.
Brianna Chicken Stir Fry,
which is an insane last name to have.
I said it wrong on purpose, Will. I was waiting for him to.
But he's got like a huge career. Do you know the story about his career?
Zach Bryan?
Yeah,
of course not.
He's like a new up and coming country artist, and he like was going into the military or something like that, and recorded himself like singing on TikTok and like posted it, and it blew up, and he like got like whatever it is, honorably discharged like from the military in order to go pursue like a music career, and like he blew up like huge. He's one of the biggest like up and coming.
I have some Zach Bryan like songs. I was aware of who Zach Bryan is, but I didn't know anything about this. Pull up TikTok.
I don't understand.
Pull up TikTok screen times and compare. Okay, I know mine. I know what mine's gonna be.
Well, are you gonna do it? Okay, fine.
Mine's 0. I don't have TikTok, so
yeah. Why don't we pull up Instagram Reels for Kevin?
Okay, we can do that.
Boomer on Instagram.
This could get me fired from my job. How much I'm on TikTok.
Will it show you just if you go to the app?
I can't remember how to get to screen time. I don't look at it that often.
How do you do your screen times? Now it is somebody. You're doing the thing that the noise that people make when they're looking something up on their phone in front of people.
That's what I did. Yeah.
How do you do it? Where do you go?
Just go and search. Great. Well, then I'm for sure not saying mine.
No, you got to say yours.
If you go to
just go to the app,
the search bar on your settings. If you go to the search bar on your settings, and search screen, you'll see it on there.
Next week, I will show
see
mine.
All apps.
If Will's not going to show his, we don't have to show ours.
It's calculated.
Well, I don't have one. I just turned it on.
It won't be accurate next week. Most
it'll be accurate for the week.
Mine says 49 minutes. What does that mean?
Just show
49 minutes is my daily average.
Of what?
On
TikTok? An hour every day.
Oh,
how do I?
Okay.
That's
mine won't say.
Way worse.
You haven't even been recording it.
How do I tell?
I can just
you're just saying that. Yeah.
How do I tell where it's being used? Because it just
tell me your grandpa. Let me show you your phone.
This segment just turned into teaching millennials how to.
How do I? What was his name that was in the thing?
Oh my God, Kevin!
What?
We can't show this.
What is it? Let me see.
It's not good. It's not good for you. It's not looking good, Kevin.
Why?
There's no way.
2 hours and 23 minutes?
That can't be accurate. Your daily average for Instagram is 2 hours and 23 minutes. You spend 2 hours a day on Instagram?
No.
Okay. Maybe it's like I bet it like measures it in the background whenever it's not being.
I do have all my tabs are always open.
Oh,
I don't think it does that.
No, you don't close your tabs. By the way, not your tabs. Don't go and close your apps that are open because it saves your phone's battery life if you don't close those.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard from Marques Brownlee, and I like him.
2 hours is not even that bad. Mine is. I promise mine will be worse.
2 hours. I don't think I do. What is mine on Instagram?
When would I do 2 hours? I have no idea.
Let's see. On Instagram, my daily average for Instagram is 15 minutes.
Yeah, but what is it for TikTok?
I don't really use an hour. I don't use Instagram. It's 42 minutes for YouTube. I'm actually surprised I watch TikTok more than I watch YouTube. I'm on YouTube a lot as well. Got to watch that sweet content.
Yeah, just like this. Like we're looking
just like this. We did it, guys. I like the segment. I think it's a fun segment.
I like a segment,
but we need to figure out how to not make it about
crunchy corners around it. Where there's like rules about like
we don't want to rate.
Not going to rate abuse.
How good or bad a person was abused.
And I was not trying. Actually, I wasn't trying to make light of it because that if
I thought you were
comes out. Is pretty awful. It's like, and people are going crazy all over TikTok. So all I was trying to bring up is the fact that this is really big and that people are like trying to boycott Zach Bryan, and it's pretty big right now.
That's a sad day. Like obviously like abuse is insane, and he should absolutely face the full penalties of whatever's coming to him. But it's always so frustrating to watch like somebody up and coming, and then you figure out something about their life, and you're like, oh, you're actually a monster. You don't want to think that the people that you watch and care about online are terrible people, but probably most of them are. Right? Yeah. Like you don't get to be like huge.
Almost like most of us have done things that are bad.
Well, most of us have not done things that apparently Zach Bryan is being alleged of doing.
Yes.
But apparently like my point is that
well, we've all
I think it probably takes a certain type of personality to become big and famous. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
scroll
I feel
up
like
and read Cameron's comment, Blaine.
Oh my gosh, what could that? Did you hear that from the same person who told you burn as many calories sitting down as working out?
No, that's
not what I said. That's not what I said.
It is.
That's not what I said.
That is sort of.
That's not what I said. And I will kindly invite you to suck it. Is not what I was going to say. No,
let's rate that segment.
Go watch. Go watch the Kurzgesagt.
Yes, easy for you to say.
Kurzgesagt is German for in a nutshell, and they're a really fantastic science communication channel on YouTube. And they have a whole video, and that's where I learned that from. And I also
learned what? Did you burn more calories sitting down the
No, that's not what I learned. I learned that it's
not called learning something, Blaine. That's called being lied to and believing.
On average, you burn a certain amount of calories regardless of your level of physical activity that day.
That's true.
All I know
who's disagreeing with that?
Everyone. What do you mean? No,
your body, your body to run itself burns in general the same amount of calories every day.
Right, but
if you work out, you burn more calories.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that it doesn't really affect your average.
Oh, okay.
That your body compensates.
Well, you're obviously horribly wrong
because the way that the Kurzgesagt video.
This is the new segment. Is Blaine wrong? Yes.
Well, the way that the Kurzgesagt video.
He is wrong. Okay. And he sat down.
My vote is also that I'm wrong.
It was a
because I just
like an actual nutritionalist.
No. I mean, Manuel does know what he's talking about, but even more galling is the fact that I did it in front of Tanner. Who was like,
yes,
has
a
biology.
A biologist.
He's like, actually.
Yeah.
And Tyler.
And they were like, no, you're wrong, Blaine. And I was like,
the fittest people I know.
I watched a 10-minute Kurzgesagt video.
It insults me more that the very cells that make up your body while you make this argument are doing the very thing that you're saying they cannot do now as you speak.
I'm just saying, go watch the Kurzgesagt.
No, did it say the crap that you're saying right now?
Yes, and it backed it up with really credible sources.
That'll be saving me some time, right? This is how
I might be communicating in
filter of the internet work.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
I'm not going to watch the new hospital show that looks like The Office until it's proven to be a good show.
Hospital show that looks like The Office.
Yeah,
it looks good.
The woman from Reno 911 who was the concierge.
I need to watch that.
So I'm not going to watch that until someone proves to me that it's good. Scott. Yeah, she's going to be the Michael Scott. At the same way, I'm not going to go watch the stupid German video saying nonsense. You can basically just sit here and say, hey, guys, really, this flat earth stuff has something going for it, right? Go watch this German video.
Blake is very excited about.
So Blake, that's what'll happen. Blake, you watch that show. If it's good, then I'll watch it. But I don't want to. And if it's bad, I don't want to waste time.
That is very true. I don't watch any show that I haven't first seen people talking about either in my life or on Twitter or something. If I haven't seen people really going off on a show, who cares?
If you haven't seen someone really liking it,
it's so frustrating because there are a lot of good shows that you just don't watch because they're so kind of sleeper hits or whatever.
It would be interesting to.
I'm the same with movies.
Well, before the internet was so ubiquitous, when you would actually watch TV, I would watch all kinds of bad shows because you didn't know that they were going to be bad. It was just what was on. The Office was one of those, and so there is something that you're missing out on, not being in on the ground floor of a show and watching it the whole time. Through the ups and downs, but I'll live with it. I don't need that. I'd rather just not waste time on bad shows.
Yeah, I think we have to be done. We said 9:00, and it's 9:00.
Oh wow, that was a whole
Isn't that crazy? That's wild, right?
Didn't feel like an hour, buddies.
Go feral and crazy in the comments. They're gonna revolt.
This was the first episode. I think this was a successful first episode.
This has been a successful podcast. Office quote number 2.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
And comments or whatever that you're
share, subscribe, comment.
Yeah, do all
right,
those
Will?
things.
Is that what we should say for engagement?
The podcast keeping is the podcast is going to be on the YouTube channel probably tomorrow.
Oh, Logan did ask that question. How do they watch it after this?
It's going to be on the YouTube channel probably tomorrow, and then in the next couple of weeks, it'll beep, 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 beep. It'll probably take a little while because you have to get approved and stuff. We have to buy a license for an RSS feed and everything.
That's information that they need.
I'm just saying it's complicated, and so you're welcome for taking on the complicated task of making sure that we get on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all the different other
wherever you get your
platforms.
podcast from.
Wherever you get your podcast from, that is where we will be.
But
probably in the next couple of weeks, not right now.
Okay.
But right now, if you want to go watch this tomorrow,
it'll be on YouTube.
It'll be on YouTube, so go watch it there.
That's the 2 sentences.
You cannot keep ignoring the comments, which are saying they want the pepper.
The Carolina Reaper
pepper.
The Carolina Reaper.
I'm not
that
gonna.
I ate
I'm
that
not.
Blaine ate some of.
Oh, don't even.
They know. It's on video evidence.
No.
I went back and watched it. I didn't watch it live. I went back and watched it.
I watched so much.
There was nothing on that knife, Blaine. There was nothing
Yes.
on it.
Now cut to fade to black. That's the.
There was nothing on that knife.
I won't sit here. After I almost died, I won't sit here and listen to this.
I'll try it. I saw him at HEB today. I'll do it.
Let's do it. I'll eat a whole one.
Oh my god, they're selling Carolina Reapers at HEB.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where do you think they get them?
It's like the hottest pepper in the world.
It's
So
like $3
demand
for
is
a
there.
Where
for
else
that.
are they gonna have it? But the grocery store? Do you think there's
No,
just
you
like
got a
on the black
special
market?
order. Yeah, you gotta.
They're selling peppers.
Me like a drug dealer behind an
At
alleyway.
the
or
Herbert
something.
E. Butts Foundation.
I
You can buy
forget
them
that
like a
his
pack
name
of
is
raspberries.
Butts.
That's how easy they are to buy. They're
like a
like-
pack of
That's
raspberries.
crazy. That's insane.
They're just sitting there.
Okay, we have to be done. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next Sunday at 8 o'clock. See you later, buddies. So long.
Next Sunday, we'll see ya.
See ya.